Look around you. Every opinion you've ever heard, every truth you've been told, every belief you hold dear, how many of them are truly yours? Be honest. How much of your mind is actually your own? Or have you been living inside a story written for you long before you could even read? We like to believe we are independent thinkers, that we've arrived at our conclusions through reason and careful judgment. But what if most of what you believe was quietly placed there by someone else? This isn't an accusation, it's an uncomfortable reality. And the deeper you dig, the more unsettling it becomes. Friedrich Nietzsche once warned that most people do not truly think, they simply feel what they are told to feel, then find reasons to defend it. Dietrich Bonhoeffer called this the theory of stupidity. Not ignorance, not lack of intelligence, but a kind of voluntary blindness, where the mind becomes so saturated with slogans, cultural scripts, and repeated ideas that it no longer questions them. Think of your mind as a house. When you were born, it was empty, walls bare, rooms silent. But over the years, family, school, religion, media, and peers have come in one by one to decorate those rooms for you. Furniture you didn't choose, paint colors you never picked, and after a while, you forgot they weren't yours. Why do we accept this? Why do we allow others to think for us? Because independence of thought is terrifying. It's easier to be part of a tribe than to stand alone. Plato told a story about people chained inside a cave, watching shadows on the wall, believing those shadows were reality. The few who broke free and saw the world beyond were often met with fear or hostility when they returned to tell the others. We like our shadows. They are familiar. They give us a sense of belonging, and belonging feels safer than truth. Machiavelli understood this perfectly. He knew that the easiest way to control a population wasn't through force, but through shaping what they believed to be true. Give people a story that flatters their identity, and they will defend it as if it were their own flesh and blood. In modern terms, the machinery of influence is everywhere. Algorithms, news feeds, carefully crafted outrage, and narratives that paint complex issues in black and white. These are not accidental. They are tools, honed over centuries for guiding thought without triggering resistance. Here's the twist. Even those who think they've broken free are often just stepping into another cage. You reject one ideology for another. You escape one echo chamber, only to find yourself inside a new one that just feels more rebellious, more authentic. But the structure is the same. The walls are still there. Nietzsche warned that in our attempt to slay the monster, we risk becoming the monster. In thought, this means we mistake swapping beliefs for creating them. There's a story of a man who traveled across deserts, mountains, and oceans in search of the truth. After decades, he found himself in a small village where an old woman told him, "The truth you seek has been in your pocket the whole time." He reached into his pocket and found a folded note. On it were 3 words, "Think for yourself." He laughed and cried, because he realized how rare it was for anyone to truly do it. Real thinking is painful. It means you must hold uncertainty. You must be willing to be wrong. You must tear down your own cherished ideas and sit in the rubble until something better emerges. Most people will never choose this. Not because they can't, but because the cost feels too high. It can isolate you from your community, your culture, sometimes even your family. But the alternative is worse. Living a life entirely scripted by others. Right now, there are silent chains wrapped around your mind. You didn't choose them. You didn't feel them being put on. They were placed there in moments so small you barely noticed. An offhand comment, a school lesson, a viral headline. Breaking them will hurt. You will lose the comfort of certainty, but you will gain something far greater. The ability to see the world with your own eyes, not through the lenses handed to you. So here's the question. When was the last time you changed your mind? Not because you were persuaded by a louder voice, but because you looked honestly at your own beliefs and found them wanting? When was the last time you caught yourself defending something only to realize you didn't actually know why you believed it? These moments are rare. They are uncomfortable, but they are where true thinking begins. The world doesn't fear intelligence. It fears independent intelligence. Because a person who thinks for themselves is unpredictable. They can't be neatly categorized. They can't be easily manipulated. They can't be made to worship shadows on the wall. So the choice is yours. Stay in the cave, warmed by the familiar glow of the shadows, or step outside into the blinding, liberating light, knowing full well that once you see the world for what it is, you can never unsee it. Think for yourself, because no one else can do it for you.